How do you do better than a TKM O-plate at junior level? Get the extremes in. They know exactly what they're doing in 2016, and this is a big one for them. Owain Rosser and Michael Cornell on the front row, with Taylor, Newman, Allnut, Bevan, Witten, Fowler, Verco and Hogan in the top 10. And look at the names lower down. Edwards, Sproat, Ogden. So many drivers that can fight their way through. Down to the first corner, holding that inside line. Owain Rosser, is he going to hold the lead? Yes, he does. They tighten through Stowe corner for the first time. Couple of drivers running wide, one at the very back pulling off though. So it looks as though we've got one retirement. Ed Gamble we ride on board with, and in front of us that is the 64 of Andreas Goodsold on the left side. Round the right side though, the 99 Joseph Reeve-Smith puts himself in front of Gamble. They're still side by side. Somebody's going to have to give way, and it's Reeve-Smith who does in the end. Gamble holds onto the place.
Yeah, Gamble's not giving up anything. It might be at the back of the field, Jake. We said earlier, it doesn't matter where you are in the field. You want to come out on top. We're going to change for the lead.
That's Michael Cornell. Cornell hits the front for the first time, and against this kind of field at TKM Extreme level, this is a big moment for Michael Cornell. He puts his name up there with an amazing elite of drivers. It's stationary yellows at the first corner because of that cart that's pulled off the circuit, so no overtaking. Now they'll get the green flags again, and on the run out of the Willows down the Yamitsu straight into the bus stop. Any moves? Looks as though everybody's still trying to slot themselves into a rhythm, although I did notice the O-plate, Matthew Allnut, and the C-plate, Ryan Edwards, starting to charge their way through the field. That man though, the 5, Owain Rosser, trying to get his lead back again.
Yeah, you can see Kai Springfield on the 97. He's easy to spot because the kart's green, his helmet's green. So every time you see that, that's Kai Springfield. The 4 karts, the leader in the British Championship, is well down the field as well, Jake. That's Kyle Sproat.
Yes, Sproat is a long way back. The E-plate, though, in 3rd position. Matthew Taylor trying to make his way through. Oh, looks as though somebody's hit the barrier there.
Somebody, having a puff on a cigar, one or the other anyway. I'm not quite sure what happened there, to be honest.
Well, through the bus stop they come once again, and is this going to be a problem for Rosser? He's got the E-plate, Matthew Taylor, breathing down his neck, trying to find a way through in a 2nd position. This could be heaven sent for Michael Cornell. He might have an opportunity to disappear into the distance. Meanwhile, that is John Hogan, I think, the 73, who's up there in the mixers. Up the inside goes the E-plate into 2nd position. And it's actually, no, that Peter Newman, the 78, who is in there. Hogan is in the mix. He's a little further back from this group. And he almost got shoved wide there, the 78 of Newman. He almost missed his braking point completely there. Gamble right on the tail of the 90 of Joe Stockford as he tries to move up. Now this is the 78 coming through on the inside, is it? No, Newman has to back down, and he's got some pressure from behind. Chris Witten trying to come through as well. It's game on again.
Chris Witten 2nd in the British Championship, currently behind Kyle Sproat, but he's in front of Sproat today. 5th place, I think that is. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 5th place for Witten currently. He'll be hoping to get a podium at least. Change of leaders, Matt Taylor, who's come from further back to take the lead.
Well, at the back of this queue is now Louis Bevan, the 82, so he's trying to make his way back through. Into the lead of the race has gone Taylor, and up the inside into 4th place goes Chris Witten. He finally gets the move done there on Newman, so Peter Newman has to settle for the fact he's back in 5th position once again. It's definitely not all done and dusted though. Matthew Allnut, last year's O-plate winner, is down in 7th position, trying to charge his way through, and at this moment it looks as though he's going to be handing the O-plate over to somebody else, and at the moment that's going to be Matthew Taylor in the E-plate. But don't count out Michael Cornell. He started this race very well. He's up amongst some of the elite drivers in British karting, and he's holding his own very well indeed there, considering you've got the likes of Rosser and Witten right on his tail, and there's a whole host of drivers who are going to want to put themselves up the inside. There goes Cornell, and it looks as though Rosser's going to follow with him as well. Michael Cornell hits the front, Rosser goes through, and so too does Witten. So down to 4th goes Matthew Taylor, the E-plate.
Michael Cornell, obviously now, is one of those elite drivers, no doubt about it. He's got the qualities. Starting pole, back in a 2nd. That's Owain Rosser, the 5 karts. That's the 78 now back there in 5th place. That's Pete Newman.
Well, I'm watching through the field as well to try and see where the likes of Kyle Sproat and James Ogden are, because they're still working their way through the field. Witten's going to get out wide, and he's going to lose the place first of all to Matthew Taylor, and then it looks like Peter Newman's going to get him on the run down to Stowe corner, but through pops up the 82. Louis Bevan has popped up as another choice move there on the inside. That's John Hogan, the 73. We talked about him a little earlier. Gamble's going to get the move here on the 64, Andreas Goodsold, who overshoots in the braking zone, and that is Joe Stockford in front of us. Great action everywhere you look around the Kim Bolton circuit. It doesn't matter what corner, what position, there is movement and action all the way through this field.
Absolutely fantastic racing, as you say, Jake, all the way through the field. The O-plate just going through the shot there. I think, what's that, 8th place for Matthew Allnut. We've got another change. Allnut there in 8th. He won't want to give up this title. He was absolutely over the moon last year when he took the O-plate. He wants to hold on to it, but he's got a lot of work to do. That's Whitten making the move, can't quite get it done.
So close to contact, but Taylor eventually manages to hold his position in 3rd place there. One of the things I've noticed, actually, as Whitten tries again up the inside of Taylor, has to back out of it. That penultimate corner, Kestrel corner, we've seen so many times in the past. Drivers have pushed it a little bit too hard, and there's pushing going on there on the way to Dan Weldon corner. Now watch as they go towards Kestrel. You'll notice something different for the 2016 season as they go through that corner. Now look to the left of the corner. You'll see a tyre barrier. That wasn't there before, and that's actually enabled drivers to be a little bit cleaner through that part of the corner. We've seen so many times in the past, they've run wide, they've run deep and used that runoff area, and it's caused pandemonium. But the drivers are much cleaner now because they know that there's a tyre barrier waiting to collect them on the outside if they push it too hard. Now this is going to be Gamble to the inside. He gets the move done. Very nice indeed. And he's going to pull away from Gutsold if he gets an opportunity to. But great battles in this pack. Down to 4th position thanks to all of that. Matthew Taylor in the E-plate, trying to get close to Chris Whitten, but it's Michael Cornell who still leads from Owen Rosser.
The O-plate, Matthew Allnut was 8th. He's up to 6th place now, trying to defend this title. So he's moving forward, but is he moving forward quick enough? The two at the front getting away slightly from Whitten.
See Rosser's being very intelligent here, working with Cornell as Hogan throws it up the inside. He's going to lose the place to Allnut. Newman's in there as well, but Rosser is actually being very sensible here, working with Cornell. He's not challenging him for the lead. Look, they're pushing each other further forward. They're getting away from the rest of the pack, and that buys them a unique opportunity to be unchallenged in their fight for the victory. Whitten is now having to basically ask for assistance from Matthew Taylor, the E-plate, the English Championship winner, to see if they can work together to close up on those two out in front, Cornell and Rosser. I'm not entirely sure they're going to have an opportunity to. They're disappearing rapidly. Look at the gap already between these two and the leading pack. Now Cornell's having to defend, and that is going to get everybody else back into the mix. So all that I said, Cornell and Rosser working together, it looks as though Cornell has hit the panic button and started defending. Now that's going to bring everybody back into the mix. We are not done yet as Newman dives for the inside of Hogan and gets there. It's probably not going to be too long before Allnut gets his chance to get past him as well. But look at these two. They are working together. They are closing on Cornell and Rosser up the front. Whitten is going to get an opportunity here as Cornell again defends. This is a rookie error really from the 33 right round the outside. Surely he's not going to be able to hold on to that. The 5 Rosser is going to get him down the straight. That is an absolutely unbelievable move, but Cornell can hold it to the inside and keep him at bay. And here comes Whitten. Whitten's going to get a nudge from the E-plate. Taylor, they've collided, and Taylor's going to get into the lead.
And it looks like Cornell, well, he's been defending, and it looks like it may have been his undoing there. Yep. Contact between them.
Far too early on the defense. That's what's dropped him back to 3rd position, and that has cracked open the race for everybody else behind. Cornell down to 3rd position. I'm not quite sure who it was that came together with who there. It happened so quickly, but now it's the E-plate, Matthew Taylor, who leads the way with a little bit of distance between himself and 3rd position. Who's that now in 2nd place? That's Louis Bevan. Louis Bevan stayed out of trouble and has put himself in 2nd place. He's got a chance to go for the whole thing.
I'm not sure we've even mentioned him. That's Whitten going up the inside for another spot. It was Whitten who I think was up the inside of Cornell, challenging for the lead. A little bit of contact between them has cost them both time, potentially. It's cost them both a chance to win this race, but it's Taylor that leads it from Bevan. And as I say, Jay, I don't think we mentioned Bevan in the first part of this race, but clearly he was in there in the pack, and he's been one that's taken advantage. Cornell's getting back into it though. He's getting much closer, and frankly, well, still any one of 10 can win this.
Absolutely, but Bevan, he is the Rudyard Kipling of this grid, isn't he? If you can keep your head while all around you are losing theirs, you can go for the championship. Oh, he's got into the barrier! Contact with Taylor! He couldn't quite see which direction Taylor was going in. They come together, he hits the barrier. His dreams of winning the O-plate are dashed. Let's look at it again. look, defending to the inside. Taylor's allowed to do that. He cuts across, and suddenly Bevan changes direction. He goes into the side of Taylor. Now, unfortunately, that is Bevan's mistake there. You can't say Taylor did anything wrong at all.
I'm not sure about that, Jake. Maybe a difference of opinion there, because Taylor was looking at him. He knew he was there and kept squeezing him across. Contact then came, so we'll have to see what the officials make of it.
Reeve Smith is out. Reeve Smith is out of the race as well at Dan Weldon. So in all of that confusion, it's going to be Taylor who just beats Michael Cornell to the line. Witten is there in third place. You couldn't have asked for a more dramatic final lap. Taylor beats Cornell, Witten third, Newman fourth. From Rosser and Fowler, Louis Bevan is going to feel sick to his stomach.
Absolutely frantic race. It could have been anyone's, really.
Yeah, I was quite lucky, to be fair, like with Chris Cornell and Owen Rosser going off on that Willows, and I managed just to slip through. And then I feel sorry for Louis though, like on the last lap he had to go for it, just caught my rear wheel.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate incident. He just spun off there. I think he's fine, but yeah, that was a bit of a nasty moment. But that left you then a bit out on your own, didn't it?
Yeah, I had Cornell coming after me like a rocket, but I managed just to keep in front of him, so it was a good race. Yeah.
Yellow flag at the last corner helped a bit there as well, didn't it?
Oh, I didn't even see it. So yeah, I just defended there anyway, just in case.
Well, we have our two new O-plate holders coming up. It's the Junior TKM Elite Final.